Hi, this is Ann with Finance on the Offense, and I'm sure you've heard about the Great Resignation of 2021. So in this video, I'm going to go over what that is, why it's happened, and then what you can do about it if you're either a worker or maybe like a company owner. All right, let's get started. Now, I want to let you know before we get too far into this video that I actually referenced several articles in order to make this video. And if you want to see those are right underneath the video in the description. So you can take a look at those if you want to kind of take a deeper dive into what the Great Resignation is. Okay, so what is the Great Resignation? It's actually a nickname for the huge trend of people quitting their jobs after the COVID lockdowns and pandemic. Another term you might have heard for it is the Big Quit. Now, the Great Resignation started around April of 2021, and it's still continuing now in November and into December of 2021. According to the Labor Department, 4.3 million Americans quit their jobs in August of 2021, and that's 2.9%. That percentage is the highest it has ever been in recorded history. Then in September 2021, 4.4 million people quit their jobs. You've probably been noticing help wanted signs pretty much everywhere you go, and there are tons of openings online too. So why is it happening? Well, most of it is pandemic related. Lots of retail workers and restaurant workers are now faced with getting COVID at their workplace. Their constant face-to-face interactions with the public has caused them to be at high risk for getting the virus, even with precautions like masking or social distancing. And a lot of them are stressed out about it, and they're starting to believe that it is not worth the risk. On top of that, when the pandemic hit, a lot of people were wanting to leave their jobs, but they didn't. There was so much uncertainty, so they decided to stick it out. And they were asked to do more and more, so then they were facing burnout. So when things opened back up, there was just a huge wave of resignations as people looked for something better. The pandemic has given people kind of an existential crisis. It's caused them to really look at their jobs and their lives and say, you know, if something happened to me tomorrow, will all of this have been worth it? Am I really living the way I want to on a day-to-day basis? And it's sort of looking like the answer is no from a workplace situation. So they're wanting to spend more time with friends and family, maybe try for a side hustle and that kind of thing, work on hobbies, and work is just not that important to them anymore. The pandemic has also caused a surge in inflation, and if you want to know more about that, there will be a video right up here at the top of your screen. But basically, the cost of rent, cars, houses, pretty much everything has increased by sometimes as much as 6%. So the wages these people are making just aren't cutting it anymore, and they're quitting their jobs in record numbers to find something better. Some workers who have had to completely change the way they do their jobs are now facing burnout. For example, teachers had to learn how to switch to online teaching. Now they're back in the classroom, but some teachers are asked to do a hybrid model where they're teaching some students in person and then some online, and it's just too much. Nurses and other healthcare workers are dealing with a huge surge in patients, so they're being asked to work longer hours and wear tons of PPE. So because of working conditions like these, that leads to burnout, which causes people to quit their jobs and find something better. Other workers who have been working from home are now being asked to come back to the office, and they like working from home, so they don't want to do that. So they're leaving their jobs to find other remote positions. Other people were laid off when the pandemic first hit, so they decided to stay home with the kids, saving on childcare and living on just one salary instead of two. And maybe they noticed they were able to get by or even save more money by staying home. So if you're a worker right now, you have a lot of power. You can request a higher salary, you can request more flexible working hours, or maybe a hybrid package where you're staying at home some of the time, and negotiate better benefits. So when you're looking at getting a new job, make sure to negotiate. You should never accept the first offer, not even if it's really great. If you don't want to drive to an office every day, I actually made another video, which is right up here on your screen, and that is all about finding jobs that are remote, and there are certain websites that can help you do that. So all that will be in that video. If you own a company, you're probably going to find that you need to pay higher wages to keep your current workers or hire new ones. Retail and restaurant chains are paying between $11 and $18 an hour right now. So if you're wanting to hire degreed professionals, you'll probably be looking at paying twice that. Company culture, options to work from home, and good benefits are really important to workers right now. So it might be worth looking over your compensation package and making some adjustments. So there are definitely some positives and negatives to the Great Resignation. And if you have any comments or any experiences that you want to share, please leave those in the comments section below this video. All right, I'll see you next week with another Finance on the Offense video. Thank you.